have a say in a big international race today, because we've got a couple of live ones in Dubai.
I think you're pretty keen on him, Graham. You've been spruiking his chances all week. What makes you so excited to see Giavalotti this afternoon?
Because I think he might be in the right place at the right time, with a biggish field, hopefully a generous gallop, with fast ground and Asheen Murphy to ride a very patient race. Marquisat represents the genius, Andre Fabre. He's got 3 Vases on his sideboard, and he's here, and significantly, it's the last ever ride for Michael Barcelona in his job with Godolphin France for Fabre, his longtime mentor. So he's going to attract support, but there are a few horses here running around at big prices with live chances. This is a deep race.
So he is your first choice, is he?
Giavalotti is my idea of a real potential value option here. I think people don't realise quite how good his 2 wins this season are. He's winning the Yorkshire Cup when he laughed at Vauban, which you'll know very well from his Melbourne Cup exploits, and at Newmarket, where he dismissed a Group 2 field like a good one. Last time out, people would say he was a bit below par in the Irish St. Ledger, but he got very, very sweaty. Keep an eye on him, Jenny. He's quite a feisty character. And in the gate, he put his head over the adjacent stall, and it just was set up for him right. A real good paddock report, and I'll go from keen to very keen on Giavalotti.
Okay.
Let's head over to Paul Lally and Nick Child, who are standing by above the parade ring. An exciting race coming up here. Does it go to the Northern Hemisphere again? Maybe Japan, or could it go down under to Australia, guys?
Well, it could go any number of ways, Tom, this race, couldn't it? I think this is a cracking renewal of the Vase. It really is, and we're pulling runners from every corner of the globe, which just adds so much more intrigue to this race, Paul. And I know the French have obviously always had a very good record, and you're pretty keen on one of them.
Yeah, I quite like Iracine in this race. Look, he's only had 2 goes on a good tracks, 1-1 and been placed. All the runs, and all his good form is also on heavy tracks. So there is that little bit of unknown. But all the money's going to Stellenbosch, the Japanese filly, 3. And a lot of it's got to do with Joe Moreira board. So come up quite short, I thought.
Yeah, there's a look at that wonderful trophy, the Hong Kong Vase. Of course, you mentioned Marie Vallon is riding Iracine as well. So great to have her here on board this horse. And, you know, he's a horse that she knows very well.
Yeah, exactly. And, yeah, she does. And, look, I think, like Graham says, I think it's a legitimate chance at a big price.
Good to see Dubai Honour in this race. Has run in the Cup previously, but he's stepping up in trip. And this is one win in a jurisdiction that William Haggis has always wanted.
Yeah, exactly. And, look, he's been there, done that in the past. He's a well-travelled horse.
The fairy tale could well be Luxembourg, of course, having his final run as a racehorse. Let's get back down to the parade ring. Tom, Jenny and Graham waiting for us down there.
Thank you, guys. Jenny, who do you feel the best chance of the local runners is? The staying ranks here are a little thin, and they do tend to struggle. I think our last winner, Exultant, and I don't think we've got the same quality of horse amongst these local runners this year.
Well, I totally agree with you. I think a carrying generation, if they go forward with him, he might give you a bit of a sight, but I still don't think he's going to be quite good enough. Luxembourg, I'm interested to see if he can come back and perform as well. But they're coming into the parade, so I'm going to leave you two to it, and I'll go and have a look.
Let's head over to Dubai Honour, the first of them coming into the yard here, Graham. My worry is that he's been here before, and he still hasn't done it.
I agree with you. He's had a couple of chances. Mind you, look who he was in against in those races. He was second in the Hong Kong Cup behind, fourth in the Hong Kong Cup behind Loeb's Only You, third behind Romantic Warrior and Prognosis in the QE2 Cup last year. But he's now got his Group 1. He comes back as a Group 1 winner finally.
How's he looking, Jenny?
Look, he's a really neat type of horse. He's got a bit of a bouncy walk on him. That's his style more than anything else. But his behaviour's good. He's just got a little bit of sweat on him, but not enough to be concerned about. I like his nature. Iracine is right directly behind him. It's not worrying him, but he's very close. You know, just might, you know, any normal horse would probably stir up. But he's got a good demeanour about him, and I think he looks well. He's nothing wrong with his fluency.
We've got Iracine on screen, Jenny. He's been a bit of a dude at track work. How's he looking?
Well, he's eager. He's keen with his 2 handlers. He's been clipped out, but he looks healthy. He does look fit enough. He carries a little bit of weight around the midsection. That's probably just his type more than anything else. But I think fluency is not an issue, and he's just very eager. So he parades well without being outstanding.
Mark was at Graham, very heavy track in Germany last time out. I'm not too worried about him on top of the ground today, I must say.
Yeah, I stood in this spot 12 months ago and was worried about Junko on the fast ground from the same stable. He radished out. Marquisat's best is good. His last run in Germany may be a forgive race.
And Barcelona rides, Jenny.
Look, I love his demeanour. Gee, he's such a quiet, relaxed type of horse. He's about your average height. He's been clipped out. He's not worried of anything here. So he's just taking it all in his stride. He walks out beautifully. He just took a dodgy step behind, but that was just because he's so relaxed more than anything else. So he's really fit and very well. I'll consider him.
Without a fight, Jenny, on screen now, they think he's better this way of going at Sharton as well.
Yep, look, I can't leap over everyone here, so I'll just wait for him to get into my view, and it shouldn't be too far away. He seems to be about to head around this corner, so you can see he's on his toes a little bit. I'm not sure if this is very normal for him, so I'd like to see him settle down. He's got a strong chest. He does look extremely fit, so it looks like they've poured the work into him, and now that he's about to go back onto his toes. He was about to walk, but they're back on his toes again. So look, he's health-wise, he's okay. He's very fit. He's a nice type. And now that he is walking, I can tell you how he's walking. There's no issues, so he's good.
Giovanni Graham, no British winner for over a decade.
Oh yeah, 12 years since Red Cadeau won this race for Ed Dunlop and Ronnie Arculi. And this horse he's too big a price. He's 18 on the board at the moment. He's only had 5 runs this season. 2 of them were mighty impressive wins. 1 at York, 1 at Newmarket. Not quite up to that level last time. But Jenny, is he staying calm in the paddock? Because he tends to be a little high metal, this fella.
Well, the handlers are doing a fantastic job with him because he's beautifully behaved. He's been clipped out. He looks so fit. And he's really clean in his walking action as well. He looks good. I was on form. I probably was inclined to want to go with a few others, but I'm pretty sure I'll have to consider him for the looks department. He looks good.
How's Luxembourg parading, Jenny, his swan song before off to a stud?
He carries a bit of weight around the midsection, this horse, so he looks like he would need a run, but that's just him, I think. I've seen him once before, and I'm pretty sure he paraded very similarly. He's beautifully relaxed here in the parade. Tall horse, continues to walk out nicely. He's well without being extraordinary, so I'm probably going to prefer a few others.
Is he, Graham, coming here in the same form, though?
It's debatable. But his last run in the Breeders' Cup doesn't look great on paper, Tom, but he was bottled up the entire home straight. So forgive that, concentrate on his overall body of work. Group 1 winner at 2, 3, 4 and 5.
Pradaria, Jenny, for Japan. Christian Demuro takes the ride here, and he's a 3-time winner over the distance.
He's bandaged on those hind legs. He's behaving himself nicely. He's a well put together type. Beautiful shine to his coat. And he walks. He's a really good walker as well. So he parades quite nicely. His recent form's not been overly special, but he's a nice horse. Hard to ignore.
By deep impact, of course, is Pradaria as we move to a 5G patch now. Good run resuming, found some trouble, and then looked to only battle, I thought, last time out. Needs to really step up a couple of gears here, Jenny, I think, to be competitive.
Yeah, I think so. And 1,016 pounds is what he weighs in at. But for that amount of weight, it's really well distributed on him. He's got a nice nature. He's really relaxed, and he does walk out well. He's very alert as well. So the occasion's certainly not getting to him, and he certainly gets a pass. There's nothing wrong with him.
So let's pick up on 1 or 2 more. Here comes number 9. This is Continuous, and he's going to be a big price on the board, and he could be in to help shape the pace of the race because he's a natural front runner. He looked a tremendous horse last autumn, 23. It hasn't gone his way this time, but the big plus point for Continuous this time around, he gets fast ground for the first time in a little while.
Well, he's been clipped out as well. He's not a very tall horse, but he's quite stocky. He carries a bit of weight around the midsection there, but that's probably just him. I love his demeanour. He's a really quiet horse, and he does appear to be walking out freely as well. So he's not bothered by the occasion either. His behaviour's very good.
Last City Blanche now with Jenny, number 10. He's in the market at 23-1. Again, enjoys the distance. A Group 1 winner over in Argentina prior to arriving, but a heck of a step up here for him too.
Yeah, certainly is. So he's done the good form overseas. He's run some really nice races here as well. He was the winner of the Queen Mother Memorial Cup and at Group 3 level. So he can run the old good run. But he is a horse that never carries any excess condition. He's still a very, very smooth walking horse, though, and he's just nicely relaxed. So if he was to throw in one of his decent runs, it's not going to shock me because he actually looks quite well.
Big step up for Graham, for him. Matthew Chadwick, Tony Cruz, the old combination, but tough for Last City.
Yeah, we've seen that Hong Kong can win this race in relatively recent times. But to win it, you need a crackerjack like Exultant, and I'm not sure we have any Exultants on the home team today.
Young generation, Jenny, if he gets his own way and can go forward and get a cheap enough sort of run in transit, could be tough to peg back.
Yeah, we just saw Mr. Long. He will be feeling the nerves, not necessarily for this one so much, but one coming up in the sprint in the next. Now, Young generation has got some good body strength. He's just on and off his toes a little bit, but in a good way. No sweat on him. He's very strong. He does look well.
And finally in shoot, Jenny, who's one of the final runners here for John Size and James McDonald. They team up here. Of course, good win in the Sasa Ladies Purse, but again, another horse with that international rating of 107 that needs to find a bit.
He certainly does, yeah. Look, he's a pretty good horse, I will say that, and James McDonald to ride him here is a positive. Now, he's so calm and relaxed. He's a very unassuming type. There's nothing overly special about him. He doesn't carry any excess condition, but in saying that, he's extremely fit and he's really healthy, and he's on his home turf here, so I could see him not disgracing. He actually prays well for him.
Stellenbosch, the favourite, the Japanese filly, has joined the chat. And I've seen her on the track this week. She's not especially powerfully built. She's quite elegant, Jenny. She comes here with high-class form, little unlucky more than once. And Joe Moreira is back into play today.
Yep, he certainly is. Now bandaged on those hind legs. She is very lean looking.
Yeah.
She carries no excess condition, 1,023 pounds, and she sort of thins out towards the flank area there. I'm not sure if this is normal for her, but yes, there is no meat left on the bone really with her. So she's as fit as she could possibly be, and she's a talented filly, having won 3 of her 7. On looks, I'm probably going to prefer a few others.
Best turned out horse there without a fight for the Friedman team from Australia. Let's head over to Nick Child, who's standing by with the trainer of Gio Vellotto. It's a very warm welcome to Marco Botti.
Yeah, it certainly is a warm welcome back. Marco, of course, who's had a couple of runners in this race a few years ago, but it has been a little while. Newmarket based. You've brought Gio Vellotto over, Marco, and your horse looks really well.
Yeah, he's travelled well. Very pleased. He's taking so well, and he likes travelling. Actually, he's been to Saudi, Dubai, so very pleased the condition. He looks well, and obviously the ground is fine for him. Sort of coming back to mile and a half, and we just hope he's quick enough. His optimum trip has been 1.6 miles, but he won over 1.5 miles in the summer at Newmarket. So
Graham Cunningham, who's with us on the broadcast this afternoon, was saying before that he's formed this summer. I mean, he certainly shouldn't be discounted. It's some very strong form.
Absolutely, he's done nothing wrong this year. He's lightly raced. This is only 6 starts of the year, and on form is definitely there with the best one. We got a decent draw in the middle, so Oshin knows the horse quite well, so we hopeful.
And I read an article that Oshin was very instrumental in suggesting that he came here.
Yeah, Oshin rode him in the Irish Sun Ledger. We thought he ran a good race behind the Caprios. And he was convinced. He said, well, I think we should go to Hong Kong. He will handle the track, and so we sort of follow his advice, and here we are. So.
And I'm sure, just finally, Marco, lovely for you and your connections to be here. I mean, we've got beautiful weather. It's a wonderful race day. Where else would you rather be?
Absolutely, no. There's no better place for sure. We came here a couple of times before, and but it's been a while, so great to be back.
Marco, great to have you.
Thank you, Nick, and thank you to Marco Botti. As runners are leaving the parade ring here, Jenny, for the first of the features of the Turf World Championships this afternoon, the Hong Kong Vase. Who were the standouts of some of these stayers?
Yeah, look, some lovely horses here, no doubt about it. I'm going with the 6, Marquezat. I thought he paraded beautifully here. He's so quiet and relaxed. He looks extremely fit. He's been clipped out, but did not put a foot wrong in the parade, so I've got him on top. Of number 2, Gio Vellotto. I know Graham's very keen on this horse, and he did parade very nicely. Behaved himself. He walked out really well. Next best, number 1, without a fight, was slightly on his toes, but he looks extremely fit. And I'm going to put in the 7 as well, Predaria from Japan. I thought he paraded really nicely. His recent form, not overly special, but gee, looks well. So in order for me, I'm going 6, 2, 1, and 7.
Before we head up to Mark, let's get a quick market update from Paul. What's going on in the market here for the Vase?
Well, a lot of money for the bottom one, Stellenbosch. She's into 2.7 without a fight. From Australia at 4.5. The only other single-figured runner is now Luxembourg at 6.7. Marquisat for France is at 11. He comes up as the 4th favourite. And then 15 ensued for Hong Kong and 18 Giavellotto.
Thank you, Paul. Upstairs to you, Mark, for your thoughts here on the first of the Group 1s this afternoon. Punters really seem to be warming to the 3-year-old filly Stellenbosch at the bottom. Really short too, 2.7.
She is, Tom. Yeah, 1.4 a place. She's in the top 4, but sticking with the Australian here without a fight. Big ask to come after having just one run back for a third behind Vase in the Champion Stakes last time. That was first up for around 12 months, and if Anthony and Sam Freedman weren't happy with that run, he wouldn't be here. He's drawn barrier number 1. He's just going to get a perfect trip on the rail. So as long as he's continued to build the fitness, which no doubt he has because he's come to Hong Kong after the Australian run, he's on top. To beat number 5, Iracine. Something about this horse. He's won 8 times over the distance. Marie Vellen rides for Jean-Pierre Gauvon, who's been riding him in track work right throughout the week. Comes out of the Champion Stakes behind Enmat at Ascot last time. Group 2 winner 2 runs ago. He's got an air about him as well. Number 2, Giavellotto's going in at 17 and 4.4, and Stellenbosch has come in even further now. And 3-year-olds have got not a bad record in the race, and the filly has her first look outside of age racing as 2 and 3, and in against the older horses here for the first time. 1, 5, 2 and 13, Paul, for race number 4.
Yeah, I made 5 the value bet of the afternoon here at 23 and 6. Iracine, there is concern about the track, but he's only had 2 goes on it, and he's won one and been placed on the other, so I'm not too worried about that at all. And I've liked his track work during the week. Luxembourg got within a head of Romantic Warrior last time. He's in there for 2nd. Stellenbosch the favourite 3rd, and then without a fight for 4th. So 5, 3, 13 and 1 for me.
Yeah, recap of my numbers here. I'm with 5. I'm with number in the market here, 6. Marquisat. I made my value bet at 10 and at 3.2 here, 10 to 1 at the moment. I'm not worried about him coming onto a dry track here this afternoon. Didn't enjoy that really heavy track over in Germany last time out. There's a bit of sort of junk I feel about him. He got checked at the start last time out as well. So each way 6. Outside of that, I'm not. Well, I'm throwing in the other French galloper as well, and that is Iracine. I haven't minded the way that he's been working during the week. Another one that's got limited form on a dry track. Padaria should get a nice run in transit, and also without a fight making it to the top 4. 6, 5, 7 and 1. A recap of Nick's numbers on screen as well. 3, 5, 4 and 1. Jenny, your numbers, please.
Yeah, the 6 goes on top for me as well. I thought Marquisat paraded beautifully. Now, I suppose the big query is the dry track here for this horse, but he is only a 4-year-old. There could be plenty of upside for him, and he just conducted himself so well in the parade. He goes on top of Giavellotto. I thought he paraded nicely too. He's a very good walker, nice athletic type. The one without a fight, he looks in good order too. He was slightly on his toes early on in the parade, settled down a little bit. He looks as fit as he could possibly be. And I thought number 7 paraded really quite well. So I provide a little bit of value, the 5-year-old Entire Padaria from Japan with Christian Demiro on board. Nicely drawn in gate number 2, so maybe a little roughy there. 6, 2, 1 and 7 for me. Great.
Can't keep the punters off this Japanese filly. Stellenbosch, number 13 is now 2.6, which I don't think any of us really anticipated.
Are you surprised they've singled one out here in a turf from a wide?
Yes, I am. I think it's a deeper race than that suggests. She has had traffic problems more than once of late, so we can upgrade those performances in Japan. Jo is back aboard today. She's an elegant mover, fluent mover, but 2.6, I think, for any horse in this race is tight. So good luck to her. She comes from a stable who are no stranger to a good filly, because Mr. Cuneda trained, of course, the mighty Almadai.
Yeah, he's into a 2. She's into a 2.5 now. Paul, are you surprised with the market support there? Who do you think is the honest value in the race?
Well, I've thought Iracine was, and at 24s and 5.9, the French have got a really good record in this race. So I thought that was a really good value. Look at the play. I know you like Marquisat, the other French, so I'm going for a Northern Hemisphere play and throw in Luxembourg as well. He didn't get much luck last time, and we know he likes it here. Went within the head of Romantic Warrior. So 3, 5 and 6. But yeah, look, the Northern Hemisphere horses are at good prices, and And as Jenny says, with Pradaria at 18-1, it's hard to see one of the Japanese horses running bad as well.
Continuous here. Jenny's a Colt by Heart's Cry. Of course, he's an Irish St. Leger winner. How did he look on the parade for Wayne Lorden?
Yeah, look, he was well behaved. He was quite relaxed in the parade. He's not overly big, but he does, you know, just his conformation. He carries a little bit of weight around the midsection. I'm sure he's fit. That's just him. So he's strong enough. He's quite stocky.
Where does his form stack up for this sort of race, Graham?
This time last year, Tom, he'd be a single-figure price, because this time last year, he won the St. Leger Classic, Group 1. He finished 5th in Ace Impact's Arc de Triomphe, and I thought he would be a 120-plus horse in 2024. It hasn't worked out, but it could be that some soft ground has been against him. I think his role in this race is key from a tactical point of view, because I see him going forward and helping Luxembourg, his stablemate, find a nice slot behind. And I think Kying Generation has gone forward in the past, and his Derby run suggests that might be the way to go with him.
Quite possibly. I mean, I would be surprised if they did want to do other tactics with him. I think that gives him his best opportunity at this level. I don't know whether he's quite good enough, though. That would be my little concern.
Isn't it brilliant to have a big-time Aussie challenger, high-quality Japanese horses, Irish horses, British horses, all up against the Hong Kong team? It's what this occasion is all about, isn't it?
Certainly is.
Kying Generation, Andrea Ancini riding him. Let's not forget, he partnered without a fight when he raced in Europe, and also Giavolotto as well, so he knows those rivals well.
He did. He told me about Giavolotto. He had the ride and was looking forward to riding him in the summer last year. Then he decided to come to Hong Kong, so you have to leave some good stuff behind to come here.
You do. Back quickly to Luxembourg. Are you surprised they're running 2,400 metres, not the 2,000 like they've attacked before? Do they see this as a better option for him to maybe go out rather than running into Romantic Warrior?
He's run a Group 1 win, 2,400.
Platform.
More money for Stellenbosch. She's into 2.4. Money coming from Pradaria, the Japanese horse, on a place line, now into 4.3 and being backed through exotics.
Okay, not too many left to load. The Turf World Championships about to get underway here at Sharton. We welcome you into our telecast wherever you are around the world, tuning into our feed today from Hong Kong. Sharton Racecourse is the scene. $126 million worth of prize money across the 4 races of the Turf World Championships. And to call them, it's race caller Mark McNamara.
Thank you, Tom. And the filly Stellenbosch looking to join Mogul and Highland Reel as only the third 3-year-old to win this race. Over the last 10 years, they're ready. At the 1.5 mile, racing in the bars. And it's a good line away. No early speed from Iracine. He's being hustled along, but he's gone back to last, and Ensued began well. Kying Generation with pace, and outside of them is Last City Blanche. Pradaria punching up against the rail. Dubayana gets over behind them, and wider as Luxembourg without a fight down on the fence. Marquisat's wider from Giavolotto, and then came Continuous, who's gone back to be 4th last. Iracine is on the fence. The favourite Stellenbosch is 2nd last, and 5G Patches last of all. A round to go, and it's Pradaria for Japan. Joined up front by Last City Blanche for Hong Kong, China, and Kying Generation 3rd. Luxembourg is wide. He's 4th from Ensued, and down next to the rail is Without a Fight. Next line of 3, outside in, Marquisat, Dubayana and Giavolotto, and there is no pace on. A length away Continuous from Iracine, and 5G Patch and Stellenbosch, the favourite, is last, and she's 8 lengths off Pradaria, who turns them to the back straight. The first of the 4 Group 1s at the Turf World Championship, and with 1,400 to go, it's Pradaria by a length, and with the slow speed, there goes that Zany with Kying Generation. He's gone out and around Last City Blanche. Luxembourg, he's had to work wide. Without a Fight hasn't on the rail. Ensued is next from Giavolotto. They were followed by Marquisat, Dubayana next. And then came 5G Patch and Continuous and Iracine, and Stellenbosch is last of all. 1,000 metres left to go. And the leader is still Pradaria. Half a length over Kying Generation. Without a Fight has crept even closer now without having to do any work. The Australians running 3rd. 4th and pushed along Last City Blanche, and then came Giavolotto. Luxembourg doing it tough. Ensued next. Ridden along Marquisat from 5G Patch against the rail. Then Dubai Honour, continuous. Stellenbosch starts a run and Irisine's back to last. Pradaria's had a charm run. He leads in the Vase by a length over Without a Fight, who's come to second and trying to push Carrying Generation out of the way. Stellenbosch, Luxembourg join in, and then came Marquisat and ensued. It's the filly for Japan. Stellenbosch taking the lead. Luxembourg, Marquisat, Giavolotto hitting a gap next to the inside. Giavolotto has run past them all. 2 over Stellenbosch and getting home well. Dubai Honour. What a ride. Oisin Murphy. Giavolotto won the Vase and beat Dubai Honour and Stellenbosch. Then came ensued Irisine. Next in 5G Patch, Marquisat. Luxembourg. Enjoy the retirement paddock, old boy. From Continuous, La City Blanche, Pradaria. Without a Fight had the perfect trip. He stopped. He beat one in, Carrying Generation. Giavolotto. Oisin Murphy and Marco Botti, where did he come from? 12 and 3. Dubai Honour second for Tom Marquand at 3.8. Stellenbosch third, number 13, Joe Moreira at 1.6. We had Stellenbosch loom up. Luxembourg stayed on, but the run told in the end. And then all of a sudden, Giavolotto hit the gap in the Vase, picked it up, put the flowers in, and said, thanks very much, that's my bouquet. What a ride, Oisin Murphy. And he's won by a big space. 2, 4, 13 and 12 are the placings, as the Europeans have dominated first and second. Stellenbosch, it was such a slowly run race, 2:27.53. They're half a second outside of standard. The field taking off from about the half mile, and Giavolotto roars away with the Vase by 2.5 lengths. One between second and third as we head down to Nick Child with the winning rider.
Very much, Mark. Oisin Murphy, take a bow. I bet you love it when a plan comes together. That was magnificent.
Yeah, well, Nick, he had a beautiful trip around until we turned in. He relaxed great and he was in a super rhythm. Very well behaved today. He got checked turning into the straight, and often you don't get going again. But how powerful was he late, and well done to Team Marco Botti. It was a great plan coming here and they did an incredible job preparing him.
And were you concerned at any stage with the fact that there wasn't a sort of a lightning quick tempo?
No, because he relaxed and he was in a good rhythm and he was always going to give himself every chance. So no, it was terrific, Nick. Really, really brilliant.
And Oisin, for you as a rider, you've ridden winners all around the world, etc. How special is this to come here and win on the big stage?
Massive. He's owned by the most wonderful people, and Marco Botti has had a terrific couple of seasons with not a huge amount of horses, but he places them incredibly well, Nick, and I'm sure him and his team will get a huge thrill out of this.
Oisin, enjoy the moment. Well done.
Thank you.
What a win there from Giavolotto taking out the Hong Kong Vase. We'll get some great images.
Over the last 10 years, they're ready. At the 1.5 mile, racing in the Vase. And it's a good line away. No early speed from Irisine. He's being hustled along, but he's gone back to last, and ensued began well. Carrying Generation with pace, and outside of them is Last City Blanche, Pradaria punching up against the rail. Dubai Honour gets over behind them, and wider as Luxembourg. Without a Fight's down on the fence. Marquisat's wider from Giavolotto, and then came Continuous, who's gone back to be fourth last. Irisine is on the fence. The favourite Stellenbosch is second last, and 5G Patches last of all. Around to go, and it's Pradaria for Japan. Joined up front by Last City Blanche for Hong Kong, China, and Carrying Generation third. Luxembourg is wide. He's fourth from Ensued, and down next to the rail is Without a Fight. Next line of three, outside in, Marquisat, Dubai Honour and Giavolotto, and there is no pace on. A length away, Continuous from Irisine, and 5G Patch and Stellenbosch, the favourite, is last, and she's 8 lengths off Pradaria, who turns them to the back straight. The first of the 4 Group 1s at the Turf World Championship, and with 1,400 to go, it's Pradaria by a length, and with the slow speed, there goes At Zany with Carrying Generation. He's gone out and around Last City Blanche. Luxembourg, he's had to work wide without a fight, hasn't on the rail. In shooters next from Giavolotto. They were followed by Marquisat, Dubai Honor next. And then came 5G Patch and Continuous and Iracine and Stellenbosch's last of all. 1,000 metres left to go. And the leader is still Pradaria. Half a length over Carrying Generation. Without a fight has crept even closer now without having to do any work. The Australians running third. Fourth and pushed along last City Blanche, and then came Giavolotto. Luxembourg doing it tough. Ensued next, ridden along Marquisat from 5G Patch against the rail. Then Dubai Honor, Continuous. Stellenbosch starts a run and Iracine's back to last. Pradaria's had a charm run. He leads in the bars by a length over Without a Fight, who's come to second and trying to push Carrying Generation out of the way. Stellenbosch, Luxembourg join in, and then came Marquisat and ensued. It's the filly for Japan. Stellenbosch taking the lead. Luxembourg, Marquisat, Giavolotto hitting a gap next to the inside. Giavolotto has run past them all. 2 over Stellenbosch and getting home well. Dubai Honor. What a ride. O'Sheen Murphy. Giavolotto won the bar.
What a winning performance as well. He was absolutely poleaxe coming to the home turn, was Giavolotto. He's run exactly the same time as Win Maryland did in this race 2 years ago. 2:27.53 there, Paul. Double figure winner there. He was backed in late and a terrific ride in the end to pick himself up off after being decked at the top of the straight.
Yeah, a really good ride there from O'Sheen Murphy. It was a funny race because Continuous went back and normally leads, and there was no pace in the race. 122.50 and 30.50, 38 there for second. Great run from Dubai Honor, and Stellenbosch, he ran third at 16.50. Quinella 2 and 4, 543. The forecast 2 to beat 4, 1,048. Trio 2, 4, 13, 792. The test 2, 4, 13, 5,883. And Jenny, we haven't seen a British winner for a while, but that's all changed this afternoon.
It certainly has, courtesy of a fantastic ride there by O'Sheen Murphy. It wasn't for the faint-hearted, that's for sure. Got really tight in the early part of the straight, and I think it was his recommendation that they bring this horse over for Marco Botti as well. So they've done a fantastic job. He's obviously travelled well, and you know, he's settled in really nicely to Hong Kong. That's a superb win.
Yeah, it certainly was, Graham. I got a text message from you yesterday afternoon saying, please just have a look at Giavolotto, reconsider, think about Giavolotto here, and you were bang on.
Even a broken clock is right twice a day. Jenny, Tom, he's trained by a proud Italian, Giavolotto. He's ridden by a world-class Irishman, but he's trained in Newmarket, and we're claiming this one for Britain. The first British HKIR win since Red Cadeau, Ronnie Arculi, owned in this race 12 years ago, and he overcame a moment of real drama and adversity when it looked like a gap was going to close rapidly on him.
Yeah, it looked a bit ugly for O'Sheen on the turn there, and it's a UK Quinella there as well with Dubai Honor running second there, Regini. So he's come to Hong Kong, running to one better again today, but
warhorse, isn't he?
He's just acquitted himself so well.
Oh, look, he really has. He was very strong towards the line there, so he's done a really good job. So, yeah, look, I think all credit to this horse, though. 2.5 lengths in the end. Yeah. So a really good winning margin from him. And the team, to get them to travel like that and perform like that, it's no easy task. So well done to them.
Jenny's speed never goes out of fashion, and in a slowly run staying race, there was one horse with a real element of zip there, and that was Giavolotto.
And Paul, I think Connections were hoping to come here with a race that was probably maybe going to have a bit of pace in it, but so that makes his, I think, win from where he was and where he got back to on the home turn probably that bit more impressive too.
Yeah, definitely. He had that really good turn of foot and weaved his way through. The gaps open at the right time, and yeah, really nice win for Giavolotto. So really good. Behind, Stellenbosch got back. She ran quite well off that slow pace as well. It's of course Dubai Honor running nicely. In there for fourth, it wasn't a bad run also from
Ensued.
Yeah, Ensued for Hong Kong.
Without a Fight, Graham had that lovely run behind. The speed crept closer coming off the back straight. Sort of got a little bit tight towards the inside of the turn, but he didn't find anything after that.
The second up after a long injury break is perhaps the explanation. Stellenbosch, I thought, was in a poor tactical position, but Joe was quite hard at work on the bend to try and get her motivated, and she only got going too late.
Marcus at Jenny.
Lost the whip.
Yeah, Barcelona lost the whip, and he looked like he was sort of looming up to be some sort of chance there, and then just lost all momentum after that.
Yes. So whether or not he needed that to be persuaded, we're not sure. But yeah, he looked like he was going to be a live chance there at one stage, but not to be today.
What else did you see at the end there, Graham?
Well, Luxembourg and Continuous, the tactical plan I had in mind
Wasn't
did not
there.
play out at all. Continuous held up, never really a factor. And Luxembourg has ended his stellar career on a pretty low note. The lost whip made a minor difference for Barcelona on Marquisat, not a major difference. Giavellotto in Italian, as Marco Botti will confirm, is javelin. And the javelin was right on target in the Vase today.
Certainly was. So this is the photo, Jenny, that all connections want here in Hong Kong, out in front of the winning post for these big Group 1 races. And all credit to them for coming here, having a go, and it's paid off. And this is the race that the overseas horses like to target. They can. It's not a strong division for Hong Kong, and they know they can come here and probably win some cash.
Yeah, look, it's his very first Group 1 win at international level, so it's a nice one to do. He's a 5-year-old, and he is an entire as well, by Master Craftsman. So, yes, they might have a nice stud future for him as well.
Yeah, that's his first Group 1 win. It may not be the last. And winning trainer Marco Botti, he is from Italian.
各位來賓，浪琴香港瓶頒獎儀式現在開始。
Ladies and gentlemen, the Longines Hong Kong Vase Trophy Presentation Ceremony will now commence.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a spectacular race that was. Congratulations to winning horse Giavellotto from Great Britain winning the Longines Hong Kong Vase. 浪琴香港瓶已經係名花有主啦，係由嚟自英國嘅遠飛標槍勝出嘅，恭喜晒 ！Now I'd like to invite the club steward Dr. Silas Yang to present the Longines Hong Kong Vase Trophy and bronze horse statuette to winning owner Miss Francesca Francini of Giavellotto。我哋香港賽馬會董事楊兆信博士而家將我哋嘅獎杯同埋駿馬銅像咧，就係頒俾我哋勝出頭馬遠飛標槍嘅馬主 Miss Francesca Francini。Congratulations! And also the bronze horse statuette received on behalf of the owner. Congratulations. Thank you. Dr. Yan, please also present the bronze horse statuette to our winning trainer, Marco Botti. And of course, to our winning jockey, Ocean Murphy. Congratulations！ 繼續咧，楊兆信博士咧就啱啱將個駿馬銅像頒發咗俾我哋勝出頭馬嘅練馬師布銘球同埋騎師莫艾成嘅。Thank you so much, Dr. Yan. Now I'd like to invite Mr. Matthias Breschen, CEO Longines, to present Longines watches to our winning owner. Beautiful Longines Conquest watches to our winning owner, Miss Francini. 好，而家咧，我哋浪琴行政總監 Matthias Breschen 先生咧就係致送浪琴錶俾我哋勝出頭馬嘅馬主 ，our winning trainer。而家就係致送俾我哋勝出嘅練馬師 ，and of course our winning jockey， 以及我哋勝出嘅騎師。 Okay, let's all hold to the front at our media friends for a photo. Let's look to the front for a photo. Thank you so much, Mr. Brescian. Now I'd like to invite our winning jockey, Ocean Murphy, to present a bouquet of flowers to Miss Celia Kwok, Vice President Longines Hong Kong and Macau, for attending the trophy presentation. 而家我哋勝出騎師咧就係致送花束俾浪琴香港澳門區副總裁郭靜心小姐㗎。Thank you so much. Now I'd like to invite all our guests to remain on stage for a group photo. 跟住落嚟邀請我哋嘅嘉賓留一留步，一齊影一張大合照㗎。We're going to capture this wonderful moment. And we're going to look right at the front. All our press friends here and all the racing fans here at Sha Tin for a group photo. Thank you, congratulations. Please remain where you are. 多謝晒咁多位，我哋繼續留步。Ladies and gentlemen, now please rise and remove your hats for the national anthem of winning country, Great Britain. 跟住落嚟，我哋有請香港警察樂隊為我哋演奏勝出頭馬所代表國家英國嘅國歌。有請各位起立並隨舞。我哋現在奏國歌。Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the presentation. See you all at the Longines Hong Kong Sprint Trophy presentation after race 5. 浪琴香港瓶嘅頒獎儀式已經係圓滿結束啦。陣間我哋第5場賽事之後，浪琴香港短途錦標，我哋嘅頒獎禮再見。
Murphy, as we can see the patrol replay here. Jockey Cam on Last City Blanche with Matthew Chadwick as well through the replay. No doubt on our socials we will have O'Sheens somewhere as well. But away they go. And in the early stages here we had going forward, obviously Pradaria right there and Shude going forward. You've got Luxembourg not too far away and that wash up there as well. Last City Blanche going forward without a fight right behind Pradaria. And then you've got Gio Lotto followed by Marquisite, and then came back on the inside Irazine, followed by Continuous in the Coolmore collars. Further back in the field was also with 5G Patch and Stellenbosch at the rear there, Regini. So the eventual winner back in the rear half of the field, over on the inside here with Pradaria sitting up a pedestrian tempo in front.
Well, he's just got him into a superb position. You couldn't have wished for any better if you're on Gio Vellotto, because he's off midfield. He's just travelling along and settled beautifully behind without a fight. Who's travelling along quite nicely as well, so he also gets a very nice run. It's just not going to happen for him here today. Pradaria in front, La City Blanche, and you've got Kaying Generation doing it really tough. 3 wide, no cover throughout. We do have a little bit of wind around today too, so that's not going to be helping his cause.
Yeah.
But the winner is just travelling along beautifully there, and he's just biding his time until he needs to push the button, and at this stage he doesn't need to do that. And
look at the yellow striped helmet in backfield of Joe Moreira. Horse's head, Stellenbosch, Bopic, little keener than ideal. But when they go, Jenny, 25.64, 24.58, 25.86 to halfway, the back of the field is not ideal, is it?
No, it's not, and that's why Joe has to make a bit of an early move. He's sitting there last, and the pace has been slow, so he's a great judge of pace. As it turns out, he tries to take off now, and he gives him his horse. He's got to cover some ground doing this on the bend as well, so not easy. He does loom very quickly. She's a very good filly, there's no doubt about it. And she gets to the front, but it's just too hard to sustain for
Watch Oisin Murphy now. This is the key point for him. He wants a gap. There's no room at the end, Tom.
No, and he just got chopped out there, and he's had to pick himself up again and go again. But you can see here Stellenbosch, Giovanni just coming off the back there now of Luxembourg. That's Dubai Honor shooting up one off the fence there around to 5G patch, but he's really attacked the line strongly here as Giovanni. You got Dubai Honor closing off for a great British 1-2 finish there, and Stellenbosch not too far away. Mark was down the outside, the rider losing the whip there in the straight, and Kaying Generation is finished towards the back without a fight. 25.64, 24.58, 25.86, 24.32, 23.87 and 23.26, 227.53. The winner's time for the 2024 Longines Hong Kong Vase.
Doesn't he? And I think he can, Tom. What he's done, he broke the track record last time. Extraordinary performance from him. He has just continued to improve behaviour-wise in the parade. Physically, he's got stronger. He just is a really nice, up-and-coming, perhaps, superstar. Hopefully he wins today and we can say that a little bit more easily. But I know the connections will be very, very nervous, but I think he can get the job done here today.
He was in barrier 10 last time out, Graham. Barrier 11 this time round. Do you have any fears over that whatsoever?
None whatsoever. We're entering scary territory, folks. Not my words, but Zach Burton about this horse. And guys, I'm not sure whether you would have a case against this, but I don't think I've ever been in a big race where a horse who's never been in a Group 1 gate is sort of assumed to be the world champion. The hype and the excitement, anticipation around Kaying Rising is something you only get very rarely, and he has looked that kind of good, Jenny, hasn't he?
Well, I mean, if he does get beat, we're all going to be let down, aren't we? Because everyone around the world watching here today, expecting to see something very special. We've seen it so far, but whether or not he can do it under these conditions at this type of level, we don't know yet.
Jenny, you've seen them all here. Some wonderful sprinters. You've been close to many of them.
I've been around forever.
But is there a really top sprinter from Hong Kong this horse reminds you of in any way?
Oh, look, well, obviously I had a lot to do with Silent Witness, and he was an unbelievable horse, and he was the pride of Hong Kong as well. This horse is going very much in that direction. He was unbeaten, Silent Witness. This horse has been beaten twice by a horse called Wunderbar, but very, very narrowly. Wunderbar went on to have a little bit of an issue, so he'd been off the scene for a while. This horse has continued on an upward trajectory, so he is just something else.
And it's not just style, Tom, it's the clock, isn't it?
He broke the record here last time out. Paul, as we come over to you, that was a very good win last time out, breaking that 17-year-old track record. But I still think at the beginning of the season when he won on the opening day, Chief Executives Cup, rain-affected track, 135 pounds, I still think that was his best performance of the season so far.
Yeah, it definitely was, wasn't it? Because he basically, he had the big weight and he still managed to win really nicely and effortlessly as well. And like he's 1.2 here compared with Helios Express is the next one in the market at 16-1. So he's really dominating this market.
Invincible Sage here, Virginia Group 1 winner in the race, but he hasn't been in the same form as he probably was going back to April.
No, so we'll get to him. He's a horse that does actually excel better on a rain-affected surface, but he's done a fantastic job for his connections. He's picked up over $24 million. He is not overly tall. He's about your average height. He does look really fit. He's bandaged on those hind bumpers there. He's got a beautiful, healthy shine to a very fine coat, and his attitude is good. So he certainly gets a pass. He's well.
Lucky with you, Graham, ran second in this race last year, but he's not coming into this race this year in that same rich vein of form.
No, I remember Jenny fancied him for a place last year, and he ran an absolute screamer. I think he's got his right conditions. I think really quick ground helps him, and he's building gradually. And if a horse has done it once in a big race and run well at a big price, you cannot knock them for doing it again.
How's he looking, Jenny?
Yeah, look, this horse never looks out of place at the top end of the scale as far as good-looking horses go. He looks the part. He is beautiful. He's walking out nice and freely. He's really healthy. He's very alert and well-behaved. So very nicely presented from the Frankie Law yard once again.
Here is Ka-Ying Rising. He's in the market at 1.2 and to 1 by Sham Express out of the Purin Candomere Missy Moo. He's put on 18 pounds of scale, say, Jenny. How's he looking?
Yeah, look, I want him to move on so we can get a good, clear look at this fellow. Everyone is trying to eye him off as well. He has 2 handlers on him, a lot of camera work near him as well. He is behaving himself nicely. He's very alert. He's athletic. He looks good in his coat, starting to go a little bit wintry, but very healthy. Walking out with no issues whatsoever, handling the occasion very well. So he's in good order.
As Ka-Ying Rising, there is David Hayes sporting the beige pursuit. He's not changing that this afternoon, the beige suit, Graham.
No, he's been here so many times, but this is the moment of truth for this horse and for Zach Purton. Good luck to all concerned. He has looked a stellar horse this season.
California Spangle, he's drawn well, Jenny, barrier number 2, but after his last run, I'm not sure where he's at the moment, if I'm frankly honest.
Look, we saw that though, Tom, didn't we? And then all of a sudden he just bounced back into some form. So I wouldn't want to just be bagging him too much, because you know that he's capable. He's a multiple Group 1 winner. And he looks good today. He's actually dropped a few pounds. He's dropped 7 pounds since he last raced. He's beautifully behaved. He's a very strong, nuggety type of horse, and he looks in terrific order, nice and fluent, and just very alert. He's in good order.
What can you say, Graham, about the Sprinter Stakes winner here, Legal?
I could say that he blossomed, granted a really fast pace, a right-hand bend, and 1,200 metres last time. Precisely the conditions he will get today, and he cruised along through that race. So he looks better than he's ever been at now. His rating is 116, which puts him joint 3rd in the ratings. No one should be surprised if he runs a big one.
How's he looking, Jenny?
Lugal?
Yes.
Yeah, fantastic. He's a really nice horse, very athletic. 4-year-old colt. He's bandaged on all 4 legs. He looks really fit, coat's good, in good order, and he comes in winning form, winning the Sprinter Stakes. I've got to have a lot of respect for him as well.
Victor, the winner, Jenny, he's a Group 1 winner as well, but he was down the track in the Jockey Club Sprint, beaten 6.5 lengths.
Yeah, just been out of sorts a little bit after travelling as well. Nice, relaxed horse. He looks in good health. A little winter in his coat, but a good shine to it. Walking out freely, behaving himself nicely. So he does parade nicely.
Flying Ace gets into the field here, of course, with the scratching of No Balls. He's number 6, but he's over 100 to 1. I think that's probably, Jenny, a fair representation of his price chances.
Yeah, look, it probably is. He is a nice, strong-bodied horse, and he has been such an honest campaigner as well. Won over $12 million for his connections. His most recent racing, he's just been off the boil a little bit, just finding it a bit tough, and I think today's probably even tougher assignment for him. So he'd need to be at his absolute best. On looks, though, he gets a pass as well.
Starlust, Graham, a British sprinter in Hong Kong. How many times have we seen this movie before?
Absolutely, but I'm thrilled to see him here because he comes here on the back of his biggest win yet, the Group 1 Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint, when he came from way off the pace in a fast-run race. My question today is, Tom, can he hold this position early? Because the Hong Kong sprinters go hard, and they tend not to falter late.
Looks good in the coach, Jenny, Starlust.
Yeah, he looks in good order. There's no doubt about that. He's really well. He's nice and healthy. He's behaving himself well. It was some ride last time when he was able to win the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint. It was a sensational ride. So he'll need something like that here, I would have thought. But he presents really well. He's nice and healthy, and he walks out well. So he's good if you like him.
Now we need Jenny, Toshin Macau and Satono Rave, please, 8 and 9.
Toshin Macau is behaving himself nicely, obviously second to his Japanese counterpart, and he was quite strong on the line. He looks good, he's really fit, very athletic horse, behaving himself nicely, bandaged on all 4 legs. I quite like him, and Satono Reeve, he's a nice type too. Typical of the Japanese, they always send over good types. He's got plenty of scope, he's got body strength, his behaviour's good, and he does walk out nice and cleanly, so he's really well too.
Recommendation, Graham, he's got Group 3 Australia format best, I feel, for this.
I think so, and when he's dipped his toes into the Group 1 pond, he hasn't been good enough. So it's a sporting throw at the stumps from the Aussies here in Kieran Maher, but he doesn't look quite good enough at this level.
Yeah, he's a big price too, Jenny.
Recommendation? Yeah, look, he's nice and quiet and relaxed here. I don't think there's much wrong with the way he presents. Just getting a little glimpse of him, so not a, I can't tell you too much more about him, but nice and relaxed.
Helios Express now with Jenny. He's drawn barrier 1 here for Huey Bowman, and also 13, How Deep Is Your Love?
Well, yeah, look, I think he's produced Helios Express looking terrific. That's as good as I've seen him, so he might be able to run a bit of a race, as did John Sizes in the last. And also, John produces this horse as well, How Deep Is Your Love? And he's a lovely, big, strong horse. He's behaved himself better. Sometimes he gets a little fractious in the parade. Not a bad effort from him. So he also presents nicely.
Did you see Beauty Waves, Jenny, before he made his way out onto the track? He absolutely tanked along recently in an all-weather trial.
Oh, I love the trial, I've got to say. He might just be a little bit of a roughie here. I don't know that he can beat the favourite, but gee, looks well. I only got a quick glimpse of him. He often looks good, though. He's a nice, strong horse. He's normally very sensible as well. So, unfortunately, I didn't get a great look at him, but he's a nice horse.
He's at 6.9 of places, Beauty Waves, from that wide draw. Let's head over to Nick Child, who's standing by with the trainer of Starlust. It's Rafe Beckett.
Yeah, thank you very much, Tom. Rafe Beckett's very kindly given us his time here to chat about Starlust, the Breeders' Cup winner. Rafe, great to see you here first and foremost, and you brought a very decent sprinter. You must be excited to see what he can do today.
Yeah. European sprinters don't have a great track record in this race, do they? But, he's got a good track record internationally, and he came back from San Diego in very good shape, so it was worth rolling the dice again.
Ross Orion's been on board for a couple of bits of work during the week. How happy has he been with him, Rafe?
Yeah, he moved well out of the gates on Thursday, and he's moved well all week. Ross's first time here. We're keen for Ross to get a feel of the place, and he's done that. So.
And how much are you and everybody enjoying their time here? Obviously, this is a special place at the end of the year, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a great trip. I haven't been for a few years. I caught up with plenty of people, Mark Chan and Robert Ung, which is great. I haven't seen Robert for a long time, so it's a great town, absolutely.
It certainly is, and just finally, I mean, those owners and every owner in your yard, I'm sure they make the game go round. That's what it's all about. And for you and your owners, you've had a great year. This would be a great way to finish it, wouldn't it?
It would indeed, more than we deserve.
Well, listen, we wish you very well.
Thanks very much.
Great stuff, Nick, and thank you to Rafe Beckett for joining us here on the telecast. Jenny, is he hard to go past the favourite Ka-Ying Rising?
Look, there are some really seriously lovely horses here, the sprinters. You could probably go for a few others as well, but I'm not willing to go past him, Ka-Ying Rising. He's still presented beautifully. He behaved himself nicely. He's a lovely athletic horse. I hope he wins because he's just such an excitement machine at the moment. He goes on top of number 9, one of the Japanese horses here in Satano Reeve. I thought he presented really nicely too. I couldn't fault him. He has been racing very, very consistently, and he lost it at the start last time, so I can see him bouncing back. Number 3, Legal, beautiful horse, really relaxed, very athletic, looks terrific. And I thought number 12 paraded well. Another one from the John Size Yard. They ran 4th in the last race. Helios Express, that's as good as I've seen him, so I'm expecting a good run from him. 1, 9, 3 and 12.
Thank you, Jenny. Upstairs to you, Mark, as they head down to the start for the sprint. Could we see Ka-Ying Rising break his own track record here this afternoon?
Oh, it's not out of the question, Tom. The time is 1:07.43 that he set a couple of weeks ago when he knocked off Sacred Kingdom's 17-year-old record. So 1:07.43. I think that's the only danger in this race is the clock, because on what he has done at his home track, the local horses are just not in a different league to where he is at the moment. 1 Ka-Ying Rising, but he's 1.1 at 1. Going to put the Group 1 Sprinter Stakes winner in from Japan from last start, Lugal. Good draw, barrier number 3. He won that from barrier 13, beat Toshin Macau, so he goes in. And then the 2, which have got as close to any of the Hong Kong horses to Ka-Ying Rising recently, Helios Express and How Deep Is Your Love. They were some distance away, but both their runs, when placed behind Ka-Ying Rising in the Group 2 Jockey Club Sprint and the Group 2 Premier Bowl, had plenty of merit about them. And the trial from How Deep Is Your Love, over 1,050 behind Wunderbar since, was very, very good. No bravery here, Paul. 1, 3, 12 and 13.
Yeah, he picks himself, doesn't he? Ka-Ying Rising, we've all seen it. He's on top. The 9, Satano Raven there for second. He got further back than he should have last time because he was slightly slow away. So from a good break, I think he can get a nice run in behind him. California Spangle, I think, is a forgotten horse at 20 and 2.5. We know he's a multiple Group 1 or overseas as well. From a low draw, I wanted to put him in. And then Helios Express. 1, 9, 2 and 12 for me.
Kaying Rising, number 1 to beat 3 Legal. I think he's a danger in this race. I don't think he can beat Kaying Rising though, but I think he might be the best of the rest here. I've got Helios Express and also with Satono Rave. Really like the way he paraded here in at the yard. 1, 3, 12 and 9. A recap of Nick's selections coming up on screen as well. 1, 2, 3 and 12 for Nick. Yours from the paddock, Jenny.
Yeah, going with the favourite here, number 1, Kaying Rising, the excitement horse. He looks terrific. He goes on top of number 9, the Japanese, or one of the Japanese, in Satano Reeve. I thought he presented really well. A definite excuse for him last time, and prior to that he'd been in terrific form. So Joe rides him from gate 4. He should be able to get himself a nice run. Of the rest, number 3, Lugal, is a really nice athletic 4-year-old colt. He looks in terrific order, well behaved too. And I thought number 12, Helios Express, paraded as good as I've seen him. So I'm going to put him in for that 4th spot. 1, 9, 3 and 12.
Can I make a couple of quick points here?
Go on.
We should never get ahead of ourselves, but this is a special horse. He broke the track record last time. The time of the Class 3 today suggests that is achievable.
Right. Yep.
Look at the splits on the corner of your screen. 23.12, 21.97 with the early split set by Victor, the winner. If they're close to that, the track record could be on. My theory, guys, what do you think about this, is that if you try to go with Kaying Rising off the home turn, you're cruising for a bruising. Something could come back from the back at a wild price. I'm going to put up another Japanese horse, Toshin Macau, who's a big, big price, and like Jenny, Helios Express with the canny Hugh Bowman to come through strong and late. But this is one of the most exciting sprint prospects we've seen in many, many years, Kaying Rising.
Absolutely. To 1.1 in the market. So Paul, what are the late betting moves?
Look, he's just dominating this betting. There's nothing too much happening through the exotics with him. The next best in the market now is Satono Rave at 20. California Spangle 22, Helios Express 21, Lugal at 24. All these horses are at similar prices. There's big prices. Lucky with You's over 100 to 1, Recommendation over 100 to 1, Invincible Sage Group 1 winner over 100 to 1, and the outsider Flying Ace, who did come into the race late at 132. The play 1 obviously to win with the 2 California Spangle, the 9 Satono Rave. But at this stage, 1.1.
And that shows you, Jenny, the hype of this horse, Kaying Rising, when you've got Group 1 winners in the race that are paying 100 to 1 that have given absolutely none.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Look, I'll just tell you a little story. After he won his last race and Zach walked in to ride in the next race, I said, well, that was easy. And he said, scary thing is, I think there's a lot more to come. But so that's, you know, he's just got a huge opinion of the horse as well.
And I heard a few interviews with Zach Graham saying that someone said, oh, could he have gone faster? And he sort of played it down a little bit. And you know, when Zach plays things down, there, he knows that things are pretty good with an animal like he is. But he said he was almost fully wound up last time out going down towards the line, but he looked like he was just going half-pace the way he got to the line there and the time that he still ran.
After his second start, Zach said to David Hayes, when do you want to beat the track record?
Yes.
It came next time out, and they call it the kiss cam on the inside field, and fantastic pictures today. Zach blowing a kiss to the camera as he cruised clear. So it's awful to say, but where's the flaw in a horse like this at the moment, Jenny? Because he doesn't...
Here.
They are moving, and this will be box office stuff. Get your favourite cold beverage, get your popcorn, sit back, relax, and enjoy what could be a very, very special Hong Kong sprint with race caller Mark McNamara.
You might have to eat that popcorn pretty quick, Tom, with the speed this horse has got. 1.1 and 1 Kaying Rising. Place money for Satono Rave. Barrier number 11, Kaying Rising, light blue, red sleeves, orange chevron, yellow cap, and he's about to move in. Beauty Waves is the last horse forward. They're ready for the sprint. The crowd's ready to see Kaying Rising. All clear flag from the back of the gates. They're racing. He was about 3rd or 4th last out, Kaying Rising. California Spangle Flying Ace away fast, but here he comes. Kaying Rising cruises up outside of California Spangle, and they share the lead. Victor the winner, Recommendation the next 2 from Satono Rave. Starluster's up ahead of him from Lucky With You. Lugal wide, then came Toshin Macau, Helios Express, Invincible Sage. How Deep Is Your Love and Beauty Waves is last of all. It's California Spangle leading, 3 wide Victor the winner. And right there between them, Kaying Rising, and he relaxed beautifully. Then came Flying Ace, Recommendation, Starlust and Lugal in a line of 4 from Satono Rave, Lucky With You, Toshin Macau, and then came Invincible Sage. California Spangle has it by a neck. Kaying Rising sitting pretty on his outside. Zach asked him to go now. He put half a length on California Spangle. Satono Rave, Invincible Sage, How Deep Is Your Love? It's Kaying Rising in front. He's too clear. Satono Rave, Helios Express going great races. Kaying Rising, he'll win it. Kaying Rising has beaten only the Helios Express or Satono Rave. Then California Spangle, Beauty Waves, How Deep Is Your Love, Toshin Macau, Flying Ace and Invincible Sage, Lucky With You, Lugal, Recommendation, Starlust and Victor the winner. He wins it, but it's only by a length. 1.1 and 1. When he ran to the front, you're thinking, times and margins, please, judge. There's going to be panels on these. Second is a photo. It's going to go to Helios Express, number 12 at 1.8 and Satono Rave at 2.3. He's done everything he's needed to. He's claimed the Group 1. He never looked in danger, but he wasn't the horse that bashed up the Hong Kong horses last time. The time will be interesting here. He sat pretty outside the leader. 2 has run 4th, California Spangle. There was no kissing today, 108.15. So he's a fair way outside his track record. This will be an interesting summation from Zach. 3/4 of a length. He's got it done. He's a very, very good horse. Second, Helios Express. He's getting better and better with runs. Satono Raven, California Spangle, who was given a perfect trimp in front by Brenton Avdulla. It's 1:12, 9 and 2. It was the last frontier in Hong Kong that he had to eclipse. That was a Group 1 win. And he's won the Longines Hong Kong Sprint. Here's Nick.
Thank you very much, Mark. Yeah, with Zach Pett, another Hong Kong international sprint for you. Zach, many congratulations. He's come to Group 1 level for the first time and he's got the job done.
Yeah, it wasn't smooth. Something lunged at the gate just before we went and it took his mind off it and he turned his head. So I was a little bit slow to step and then Victor the winner just bore down my neck the whole way and he never quite relaxed as well as he has. He was working the whole way, he never got a chance to relax.
And was that just a sense of occasion, do you think?
No, when you got another horse eyeballing you, they don't relax. The win was better than what it looks. He jumped something in the straight as well and it took his mind off it, but you know, he's a special horse. He is a proper horse, isn't he? You've ridden obviously a lot of good sprinters. You've never lost the faith in him at all, and obviously David's never done the same either. No, he wasn't at his best today. He's better than this. He still got the job done. He did indeed. Zach, many congratulations. Another win. That's 12 now at IR for you. I need more. Well done. Thank you.
All clear flag from the back of the gates. They're racing. He was about 3rd or 4th last out. Kaying Rising, California Spangle, Flying Ace away fast, but here he comes. Kaying Rising cruises up outside of California Spangle and they share the lead. Victor the winner, Recommendation the next 2 from Satono Rave. Starlust is up ahead of him from Lucky With You. Lugal wide, then came Toshin Macau, Helios Express, Invincible Sage. How Deep Is Your Love and Beauty Waves is last of all. It's California Spangle leading, 3 wide Victor the winner. And right there between them, Kaying Rising, and he relaxed beautifully. Then came Flying Ace, Recommendation, Starlust and Lugal in a line of 4 from Satono Rave, Lucky With You, Toshin Macau, and then came Invincible Sage. California Spangle has it by a neck. Kaying Rising sitting pretty on his outside. Zach asked him to go now. He put half a length on California Spangle. Satono Rave, Invincible Sage, How Deep Is Your Love? It's Kaying Rising in front. He's too clear. Satono Rave, Helios Express going great races. Kaying Rising, he'll win it. Kaying Rising has beaten Omi. The Helios
Express.
Express.
12, 9 and 2. There is the photo for second with Helios Express nailing Satono Rave there over the final with stages. 1:8.15 Paul. A top victory in the end, but Zach Purton suggesting a few things sort of went against him today. Not relaxing, but he's still got the job done.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's what good horses do. Everything went against him. He had Victor the winner annoying him on the outside there, but he still managed to get the job done. Never really settled. 11 and 10. Good run there for second. Helios Express 18, and Satono Rave there at third at 23.50. Now at 1 and 12, 36.50. The forecast 1 to beat 12.45. The trio 1, 9, 12, 79. The test 1, 12 and 9 at 198. And what more can we say about this horse, Jenny?
Yeah, look, it sounds like we're all a little disappointed he hasn't broken a track record, but he's won, and he's won very well once again. And I think Zach summed it up extremely well, because he wasn't great out of the gates, and there was a reason for that. He was just fidgeting in the gates a little bit there, and then he had to work him a little bit to get outside California Spangle. Then he got harassed. So things didn't go his way, and he still got the job done. He's a very, very good horse, and we still may not have seen the best of him yet. So well done to the Connections, Kaying Rising. What a horse. Well done to David Hayes. I know there was a lot of nerves leading into this. Very hard to, keep everything bottled up when you've got a horse like this.
He's paid $1.01 as Kaying Rising, Graham, and safely through today. They've got options of things they want to achieve with this horse. There's been a lot of talk about the Everest. There's been a possible conversation about a tilt at a classic mile in January as well. So there's plenty of options for this rising star.
Some interesting conversations over the Christmas dinner at the Hayes table this year, but all the options are open. But I think, Jenny, you summed it up. Zach's great at breaking down the technicalities of a race quickly. And he's here, he had Derek Lung and Victor the winner, blowing in his ear hard all the way around. California Spangle, a rugged Group 1 battler, right on the inside. But look where the horses who tried to go with Kaying Rising have finished. Satono Rev has come from well off the pace. Canny old Hugh Bowman has ridden a beauty on Helios Express to bring him into the mix. So he's faced some adversity, the young champ, today, and he got one on the chin, but he recovered and won strongly on points.
Yeah, he certainly did. You've got to take your head off to John Size, Jenny, with Helios Express. Many people thought he was a horse that they were going to go and look at the mile with. Here they are, 1200, running second in the international sprint.
Yeah, look, he's done a fantastic job. We know what a great trainer John Size is. And this horse, I think he might have even been slightly held up there at one stage. So had he had clear running when he needed it, he may have even just finished it a little bit closer and maybe given him a little bit of a run for his money. But I don't think he would have beaten him anyway. But yes, slightly held up. So a terrific effort from him.
Fascinating that Helios Express has come down a distance from the Classic Mile and Classic Cup, 16 and 1800. And maybe, just maybe, Kaying Rising will go in the opposite distance direction.
Yeah, fascinating for sure, Paul. What else did you see there over the final stages? Legal, where did he end up in the end?
Didn't see him. The other Japanese horse, though, Satono Rave, in a very good race. He jumped well. He was 3 back on the inside, and he finished off. He just had to come off heels as they came into the straight, and he was just pipped there for second. And a great run by the California Spangle, I mean, out in front there, and he stayed on nicely for fourth. Those 4 are clear from How Deep Is Your Love, who was running on at the end.
Yeah, I think recommendation well back as well. Starluster, Graham, another year, another British sprinter, and we'll be probably talking about that same old movie again next year.
He came back very, very well beaten. He managed to get a position in midfield, but the game was up early in the straight. So another frustrating Euro trip. I hope we don't stop trying, but this is the Premier League of sprinters, and we've only got First Division ones.
Yep, you come to the Hong Kong sprint here, you come to Sha Tin, and you know you've been in a race at the end of it. Beauty Waves, they had to go all the way back with him, Ginny, and the last I saw of him, he was sort of ducking and diving at the top of the straight, looking for a run, but I lost him after that.
Well, I'm a bit like you, because we've only seen that replay very briefly, and we had different shots of it as well. So I would need to go back and have a look and see where he ran. Of course, he drew gate 14, so it was always going to be tough for him, but he's a very honest type of campaigner.
Love the run of Satono Rave, Graham.
Yeah.
It was a very strong run, I thought.
As Jenny said, he missed a break in the Sprinter Stakes, but he was the up-and-coming star in the Japanese sprint ranks before then, and he's gone a fair way to cementing that reputation now.
What do we say, Jenny, about David Hayes, who's done an immaculate job for this? David, for anyone that knows him, he's always a very confident guy, and he came here a couple of seasons ago again to return to the Hong Kong training ranks after being back and developing what is a great dynasty in Australia with Lindsay Park. And The first season was reasonably good. Second season, it was quite tough. He lost a lot of horses, and morale might have been a little bit down in the camp, but he's not a guy that really shows that. He's always positive and upbeat, and some of the horses he's had, his boys with Mr. Brightside, his maiden season with, of course, the Japan Cup winner, Better Loosen Up, and now this horse.
Oh, look, this is what he needed, wasn't it? And look, he's done a fantastic job. There he is with his wife, Prue, and Zach getting the photo there. And you talk about that year. I mean, he lost a lot of horses.
It was about 30 odd.
It was over 30, and he, was just sort of floundering there for a while.
各位來賓，浪琴香港短途錦標頒獎儀式現在開始。
Ladies and gentlemen, the Longines Hong Kong Sprint Trophy Presentation Ceremony will now commence.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to congratulate the winning horse, HKIR Rising, representing Hong Kong, China, winning the Longines Hong Kong Sprint. 浪琴香港短途錦標嘅得主啱啱出爐，係由嚟自中國香港嘅嘉應高升勝出㗎，恭喜晒 ！Now I'd like to invite the Deputy Chairman, the Honourable Martin Lau, to present the Longines Hong Kong Sprint Trophy and Bronze Horse Statuette to our winning owner, HKIR Syndicate of HKIR Rising, and our trophy is received by Mr. Leung. Congratulations! Let's hold for a photo. 我哋香港賽馬會副主席廖長江先生啱啱咧就將主杯咧就頒發俾我哋嘅勝出頭馬嘉應高升嘅馬主嘉應團體嘅，咁而家咧就頒發駿馬銅像啦 ，and also the bronze horse statuette. Thank you, Deputy Chairman. Please also present the bronze horse statuette to our winning trainer David Hayes. 繼續有請廖生，就係將駿馬銅像頒發俾我哋勝出頭馬嘅練馬師戴維希斯。And of course, our winning jockey, Zach Patton. 同埋我哋勝出嘅騎師潘頓。Thank you, Deputy Chairman. Next, I'd like to invite Mr. Matthias Breschen, CEO Longines, to present the Longines watch to our winning owner. Received by Mr. Ip. 葉生代表接受嘅。浪琴嘅行政總監 Matthias Breschen 先生啱啱就係頒發咗呢一個嘅浪琴標我哋勝出嘅馬主 ，and now our trainer, winning trainer. Thank you, Mr. Breschen. Congratulations, beautiful Longines Conquest watch. 致送咗俾我哋嘅勝出練馬師 ，and of course our winning jockey Zach， 同埋我哋勝出嘅騎師㗎潘頓。再俾啲掌聲好唔好啊？ Thank you so much, Mr. Breschen and our Deputy Chairman. Guests, please remain on stage for a group photo. 我哋有請咁多位留一留步，望望前方影張合照 right at the front for a group photo to capture this wonderful win. Thank you so much. Congratulations once again to all winning parties. Please remain where you are. 麻煩各位留一留步。Now please rise and remove your hats for the national anthem of winning country, China. 而家我哋有請香港警察樂隊為我哋演奏勝出頭馬所代表國家中國嘅國歌。有請各位起立並隨舞。現在奏國歌。Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the presentation. See you all at the Longines Hong Kong Mile Trophy presentation after race 7 and best of luck. 浪琴香港短途錦標嘅頒獎儀式已經係圓滿結束啦。我哋第7場賽事浪琴香港1哩錦標嘅頒獎禮再見。
From his draw of barrier number 11 here, Graham, as we can see them go from the start. There was a little bit of movement there from him, and he's jumped well. He's gone forwards here. Up on the inside, you've got California Spangle, and here comes the pest. Victor, the winner to the outside.
Exactly. On the inside, the Spangle, who is hard as nails. But watch Derek Leung on Victor, the winner, with the sheepskin cheek pieces in the yellow on the outside. He's edging his way across, and he keeps Zach Burton very close company, and man marks him from this point. Perfectly legally, but enough to put a little bit of doubt in Zach Burton's mind, perhaps.
Poor old Ross Orion got caught wide on Starlist around the Australian recommendation. Then you've got Sutono Rave back on the inside there. Legal, he's covered ground 4 wide throughout from Lucky with you. And then you've got further back Toshin Macau. Helios Express back there on the inside. Keep an eye on him. So he's put up a great figure.
He's a good horse, isn't he?
From where he was in the run back here on the inside. Sutono Rave saved all the ground over on the inside there. You can see Beauty Waves at the back. He's got nowhere to go. Zigging and zagging all over the show. Kaying rising, though, in front. The challenges were coming, but he was kept up to the mark.
And this is where Zach must have been getting a little bit anxious. The whips out in the left hand. Bang, bang, bang. More than enough to get him on. Helios Express has run clearly his best race yet, and we didn't mention beforehand, but Sutono Rev is the son of the mighty Lord Kanaloa, who won 2 Hong Kong sprints, and he did his old man proud.
Beauty Waves, I think, would have finished closer had he had a run. 23.38, 22.27, 22.5, 18.15. Thank you, Graham.
My guess that David Hayes won't break stride or break plan. I think the Classic Mile in January will still be high on his dance card for this fella.
Thanks, Graham.
Thanks, mate.
And the runners are coming into the yard. Won't be long before we see your details here of the markets, Paul, where we've got a 2.5 favourite in the form of Family Jewel for Casper Founds and James McDonald.
Yeah, we'll have a look at through this. There's a few movements here. Universal Horizon, 46 into 13. That's because Francis Lloyd won the first 3. Family Jewel, 2.1 out to 2.5. Sunstrider, 5.4 into 4. And Good Luck Babe, 93 into 64. They're the main movers in the race.
Okay, that is the market with the world, Paul and Jenny. We start with Brave.